Hello, everybody out there in Trainland. We got a big crew, 8 people so far, including Mom and Dan, both in the chat. Okay, well, let's see. Go hide the banner. Yep. So, I got the bear back with me. No green screen today. And yeah, 38. So this show is all about the 400 subs that we're getting closer day by day. So we're at 391 last I checked. And if I pop over there, my webpage, yep, we're still at 391. And I'll probably have to throw a few short videos up soon to get us over the hump. Hey, Pete down in Oregon. Go Ducks. Okay. So let's go around the room here, see who we got today. I know that Dat's Closet Branch snuck in yesterday. Clintonville Model Railroad, welcome. Steve 87, hope you're still there. Brother Dan, Brad down in New Zealand. John 2 from Schuylkill River Valley. Welcome. Mom is in the chat today, so watch your language, fellas. JP down in SoCal. There's who you got to Pete Motley, and that's it for now. Although we've got 11 people, so say hello. if you're in the chat. Um, yes, indeed, videos about construction of the second level, the mythical beast. Okay, yep. All right. So, of course, what do we got going today? Let's pop over and see who else is in here. Oh, there's a big view of the bear. But who's the star of the show? There he is, right across from me. There is Rocky, and he's looking at two of the possible prizes. So I'm going to announce kind of like the prizes first, then we'll go into the rules. So there's going to be 6 prizes to win this time, not just 2. So we're going to have, and this was a great find here. Let me pull these over here. And we'll switch camera views. There. We've got an Atlas this time. This is an Atlas. This is a GP40. It's road number 501. And it is DCC ready. You could be the winner of this GP40. Wouldn't that be great? Sitting as a yard goat. Rocky agrees. And not to be outdone, we found the exact same number, 501 GP40 NHO. So all you people who are NHO won't feel left out. We've got the same numbers this time. Last time it was a road number, I think it was a ace. And I believe that Closet Branch won that one. And the sibling, the 515 to this one, it was also an not an SD40, a GP40. GP40 won that one. So those are the grand prizes for each of those. Now, if you happen to be modeling in different scale, then we will work something out. And please make sure that you say that. Yes, JP, you can patch that and make it. I could patch SB, make it work. It's like a reverse patch, isn't it? Okay. Oh, you need 2 locos. I'm sure that another GP40 in the Atlas line could be found. Oh, but let's see. What did Clintonville say? Is one of them a pony? I always wanted my own pony. No, we don't have a pony. No ponies. I couldn't afford to board it in the house. So the third prizes, so there's going to be 1, 2, and 3. So there'll be, or you could say 4 and 6. Hey, Andy Pilot, Andy Hot Dog Pilot, Andy is in the house from the UK. Thanks for joining. So the entry level prize is one of these handy dandy little train tapes. So I've got 2 of those. Where's the other one? Well, the middle 2 prizes are actually a shirt, just like mine. Well, maybe not just like mine, but we can figure out which railroad logo you want to put in this corner. I've got Great Northern. And what color you want. But I will be funding your purchase of a polo shirt for your railroad. And you don't have to put Great Northern JJ like I do on this other, I'm always backwards. You don't have to put that there. I put mine branded for the show. But those are the 6 prizes. So we've got hundreds of dollars of prizes. So let's go into the rules. So let me get that going over here. So 400 subs giveaway. What are the rules? Let's see. Let's go back here. Hey, they're great. These are the great rules. There's not much rules here. First, you have to send me an email to greatnorthernjj@gmail.com. For those of you entered last time, it's the same one. You need to mention the mascot. Who knows what his name is? Maybe. Is it? He's over here to tell me. Oh, yeah. Rocky. Mention the mascot's name, Rocky. Choose your prize, N, scale, HO, or other. That's for the grand prize. I should have mentioned also t-shirt or polo shirt size and color and what railroad emblem you want. If you want to know what there is to choose from, go to the place where I'm going to order these from, Jelsma or Yelsma Graphics. I'll get that out in the show notes. And actually, you don't need to enter that unless you are one of the winners. We can do that. And then you need to get that all done by July 4th. Because hopefully by that time I will be over 400. But even if we're not, July 5th, or on the July 5th, after the layout photos show for June, that will be on July 5th. The layout photos show will be on July 5th. Yeah. And then after that show, we'll have the drawing. And we'll draw people's names and we'll get that all done. Okay? So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Hey, Dwight, Curly Express, this may be your chance to win this great loco. It's a 4-axle. It'll work just fine on your layout. Now, of course, if getting back on track, Steve wins this, you'll have a twin. You'll have 2. What's it say over the bear? It says Rocky off the rails. Yep. Okay. So that's what we've got going on for the giveaway. GPs are great. SDs suck. Oh, we're gonna start a little manufacturer war here. Not really. Let me see if I can pull up the photos and to go to here. Yeah. Okay. So, wow, that went by really fast. We're only 12 minutes into the show. I need to pace myself. So, let's go back over. You know me, stick bear, poke. And again, welcome Dwight to the show. He said hi to my mom. My mom will be thrilled. So, what else do we got going on? So remember, this time around, there's 400 subs. We got new levels of prizes. We'll have 6 different prizes. 2 locomotives, 2 polo shirts from Yelsma Graphics, and 2 train tapes. And if you haven't seen these, I've shown these before. It pulls out. I'm not going to unpack this. This pulls out, and it's got HO and N scale measurements for feet. Little handy thing to just have as a doodad. Another thing to be lost on your layout. Okay, so layout update. I mean, I had to have some kind of. Okay, layout update. There is no layout update. Just kidding you. Okay, let me get things set up here for the pictures. All right, so previously in the yard, the throat of the yard to the staging level, I had all these tracks, and I pulled these up. And let's see if I can go to the next one. Of course not. I want to go to next one. Okay, so I had these things here, and this was the process of dismantling those. And one thing you'll see is, what are all of these divots out of the plywood? Well, what I do when I've put in Kato tracks, both the power and the switches, I first drill a 1/2-inch Forstner bit down to about 1/8 of an inch, halfway through this 1/2-inch ply. And then in the center, I drill a 1/4-inch hole. And what that allows is that for Kato unit tracks, if you just drill the 1/4-inch hole, it's not enough. In fact, it traps the wires. You probably get them broken off. But this allows the wires to go cleanly underneath, and then the pair goes through that 1/4-inch hole. Now, if I was doing it all with Pico tracks, just like this switch is here, I wouldn't have to do that. So here's more of the disassembly process. These tracks right here are headed over to the engine and turnout facility, or turntable facility. And then up on the top here is one of the main lines coming back into the yard. So here I am. I've got some tracks laid out. See, you can see down at the bottom that this is the turnout that's heading over to the turntable. It's where it makes one part goes to a locomotive shed, and the other side, and you see I got a little wonky little turn in there. And more plywood divots. Okay, so this is how it looks going down the lengthwise, and this is sorry I didn't have the before shot, and apologize. I'm not seeing any comments at the moment because I'm showing everybody the screen. So I will get to the comments after we get through this slideshow. So this is more the removal process. And another shot, although it's only focused in the near and you can't see what's in the background. Oh, and then you go. So this was another thing that I ended up doing. One of the things that I wanted to accomplish was change the location of this double crossover. I wanted to put this as far away from the entrance to the throat of the yard as possible. Why? Because if you see on the far left side here, these are all insulated rail joiners. This is the start on the inside track closest to us is the start of one of the auto reversers. The auto reverser is over on the right side. This is the loop that goes around the helix and it comes back in here. And so these two turnouts, which have got those handy dandy um, per Design Labs mini or slim dwarf signals, um, those two allow me to bypass going up the helix. So these two coming around here, these center tracks go up the helix, and these two diverging ones go around the helix. So that allows me to run continuous train on the staging level because I don't have a second level. Okay, and that's the Conway pup trailers. They actually hook together. It's kind of nice. And then you've got the roadbed. What's the roadbed doing here? Why is there a cork sitting there? Well, I had a realignment. So before the rails came down this way, paralleled those two lines up here, and then hooked in on the other side. And that was part of the problem. It meant that the turnout, the double crossover, occurred before this turnout. So it also meant that I couldn't come out of this loop around from one way. I could come out and hit the double crossover and change the direction, but the other way that I couldn't. So if you imagine this gives you two overlaid loops. So you can come up either way or go back either way and back into the staging yard. Okay. So here's the finished product, and part of this that I laid out in that previous show as a mock-up in the hobby room here or the game room. So this is what it looks like right now. There's a lot less tracks here, especially over on the right side where you see the crane that's just sitting there temporarily. But I only have two stubs, two um, stubs there for parking, whatever I want to park there. Instead of, I used to have a whole bunch of tracks in here. And in the center, I used to have a whole bunch of tracks in here. But what this allows me to do is the lower tracks here. So tracks, if you go from the top where the train is sitting, 1, 2, 3, those all actually 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. You can barely see it. There's 3 lines right up here. These all go into the top part of the loop for all the staging over to the left of that. And then these bottom 3, 1, 2, 3, these two right here go up and allow you to go through these switches right here and come back on to the inside track here. And then we've also got 4 little dwarf signals here as well, indicating, red is diverging. So that's what you want to get back out. Okay. Here is a shot that's looking down there. In the center, you see this is this is actually a lead for 4 of the tracks that I've got in between that big circle. And then you can see the yard ladder coming up here. You can see that any of these 3 tracks will get you to that entry to the staging. And then these 2 tracks over here will bring you out of the staging. That track over on the far left that kind of wigwags around, this one over here, far right, this is my my test track. It wigwags around because I want to make sure that I've got a little bit more room here because you always need flat space, especially in the testing area. I used to have another turnout here. I don't see the point to it. Another part of this change was just getting rid of turnouts that were kind of like unnecessary, and that has reduced the complexity of the wiring under layout. So under layout, there's been a bunch of streamlines too, and I won't get into that during this show. So here we are looking at that yard ladder and those dwarf signals. And then here's, I think this is the final one. Nope, there we go. A few more angles there. And then you see that that's the test track. There's a switch down in the panel that controls whether or not this track right here receives power from the testing or from the main power. So you can actually drive locos right out of the testing track if you want to. And that's it. Wow, that was a layout update. I did not um, I did not go over um, I did not go over any of those things about what's under the track, and I spent a significant amount of time under the track. So welcome, other Andy. He has arrived at the show. Thanks for joining, and Dats has shown up as well. Hello. Let's go back over some questions. Well, JP says, doesn't the double crossover short on a reverser? Yes, it would. That's why the double crossover actually is in a section of track that is not on the auto reverser. So it's insulated on both sides and power fed on both sides. So an interesting setup where you have to have two auto reversers almost back to back, but they're not. So, and tested that out. As long as you're not going off of both ones at the same time, which you shouldn't, but as long as you aren't, you won't have a short there. Great question, JP. Yes, less complex means quicker to running trains. Yeah, and what I haven't done yet is I don't have all the turnouts back redone yet. That's for something coming up, and I probably are going to wait until I get the staging yard wiring complete to actually finish that off. And welcome, Kevin Brown. Welcome to the show. So, with all that said, let's go back over some things of the show. You know, we're having that 400 giveaway. We've got grand prizes are N scale GB40s. Sorry, I can't see that in the glare. There we go. Both Atlas, both DCC ready, so you can run it DC or DCC if you drop in your own decoder. Oh, you can see, look, there is F unit Great Northern. Look at that pin. Isn't that nice? And there's Rocky. There's Rocky on the hat. Another Rocky pin. Oh, there's Rocky 2. Okay. Rocky 3? No, let's forget Rocky 3. Rocky. Okay. I forget my Rockies. Which one was Rocky 1 was the best. Okay. My name's in the hat, JJ. All right. Okay. People have already joined the contest. Yeah. So, well, of course, what we really want to see is we want to see new people. Okay. Sure. Go right ahead, Andy. Go right ahead. The floor is yours. Of course, someday I'll figure out how to have people live next to me in the show at the same time. And Andy says, just want to thank all of your kind words after my 100th episode. You're very welcome, Andy. Um, you make it easy to say all that because it's all true. So, thank you so much for actually coming in on the show. I know it's sometimes, or most of the time, an inconvenient time for you, but thanks for that. All right, we already have two people. Of course, these two people have already joined the drawing before. I'm hoping to see more people than we had last time, but I'll be running a number of shorts to actually drive traffic back to this video and basically to get people to enter into the show. So let me actually just create a banner. Rules are okay. 400 giveaway. I should have made this before. Email Great Northern JJ@gmail. Mention the mascot and your preferred scale and HO or other. Okay. By July 4th. All right. There we go. We got that up there. So, comments. Let's see. Does the first guy in get a cookie? I guess the first guy in gets a cookie. Stale cookie if I win. Oh, there's one more thing I'll mention. We for those people in other countries, New Zealand and UK so far. Shirt size, great thing. Shirt size, t-shirt size, but really I only need that if you're a winner of the second prizes. Yeah. Okay, but if you're in a foreign land, if you're not in the United States, then we might work out something where I can get a some kind of purchase for you that doesn't incur the silliness of the freight costs to go overseas. Because that just I've done it. I've sent stuff to my good friend Andy here. I sent there. I probably should have sent it on a slower means, but unfortunately, the place I went to said, "Oh, this is the only way to ship it." Hmm. Yeah, so the freight cost was a mint, but it was for a good cause. Um, yeah, like I said, Andy, we'll work things out. We'll work things out um, for anybody. We can discuss alternatives because, well, the only one that I need to get rid of, or I guess I still have well, I think the return time will be expired by the time that I have the drawing. But I don't have a need for the HO GP40, but I could use the other one. Mention JJ's mascot. Yes. Yes. Those are what you need to see. Mention the mascot and your preferred scale, NHO or other. Like I said, if you're not one of those scales, then or you prefer not to get one of these two locomotives as the grand prize entry, let me know. And if you're the winner, we'll work something else out. Okay, so Yeah, man, I've just spun through this. I should have had more content. But as always, though, I should really say, man, I'm forget, Great Northern JJ here. This is Rocky Off the Rails, episode 38. And it wouldn't be here if we didn't have all of you fine people still watching. So while we're in the teens, we got 13, it says right now. All the people that watch the show, keep this running. We just had the 1 year anniversary for the layout photos of me pushing them up for Roy Smith's layout photo show. But yeah, 38. We're gonna be rock mascots now, Rocky and the bear. Yeah, at some point, the bear will return to his usual bedroom. Thanks for chasing that down, Andy. Yeah, please like this, helps spread the word on the show. I think we could go into another little thing. That first of all, let's take a look at what JP said. Would you all be interested in shorts for quick process updates rather than long videos? Shorts always get more views. Not sure about that. Hey, we've got Tarako Railways. Elizabeth, great. Hello, congrats from South Africa. I gave you a sub. Hey, thanks for the sub. We are closer to that 400. We're actually two closer. We have 7 more to go. 7 more to go. So that's great. Thank you, Elizabeth. And another person from down under the equator, just a long ways from our other person over in New Zealand. So great. Thanks to have such a big international showing. We've got 2 people from the UK watching right now. We have both Andys. We've got Brad in New Zealand, and now Elizabeth down in South Africa. Thanks for joining the show. I don't even know what time it is in South Africa. New Zealand, it's too early. South Africa, maybe you haven't even gone to bed yet. Okay. So, we could go into another thing that I've been working on recently. And I will get that, hide that off the show, go back to the banner. Let me go over to off the camera right now. Oh, it's 6:30. 6:30 in South Africa. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So let me show people the other thing. Okay, that's not train related. Okay, so you're gonna ding me, but this is what I spent yesterday doing, and here we go. Look at that. So that is the Lego Space Shuttle, the Enterprise. Papa John's trains, thanks. Yes. And so this is what I was working on yesterday. It is part of a larger set. Let me see if I can hold that up here. All right. I can't even see how that's showing up. All right. It's a big box. It's not as big as some of my Legos. But yeah, that's what I've been working on a little bit, in addition to the layout and work and home and all that. So yeah, that's what I've been spending my time doing. And it's actually kind of a cool build. Inside of there, Well, I don't think these doors, I'm not even sure they opened on the Enterprise. But it stashes things for the engines and the landing gear. It's right in there. If you choose to display it in a landed configuration without the fairing, the back that fairing pops off, and then you put the engines in there. They all stash inside, and this fairing was there to make an aerodynamic thing. Yeah, so Andy's right. This was called. I'll make sure I get the name right. I know my brother could recite this by memory. This is the shuttle carrier aircraft. It was a 747. It is now, I think, at the Johnson Space Center. Dan can remind me where it's at. He's been there to see it. Sent me pictures. But yeah, and I don't know which shuttle is there. Yep. So yep. Okay, we got Mower Man. You doing 400 giveaway and you not at 400. Okay, whatever. Whatever. We'll pretend people didn't see that. We're not doing the giveaway yet. We're announcing the giveaway, and this is all lead up to 400. So yeah, we will do the drawing probably when we're over 400. So yeah, there's always got to be one in the crowd. Later, John too. I think I missed you going. Yeah, Brother Dan said Johnson Space Center Visitor Center is where you could see this the 747 there. And then he said a mock-up called the Independent sits on the SCA 905. Is Lego getting expensive too? Well, some may say that Lego was already expensive for these collector things. So this set was a few $100s. I have seen you could win some more BS. Okay, whatever. We'll just laugh about it. Oh, yeah. So I've seen the space shuttle at the LA one down near JP. Well, it's probably a little drive from JP's place because he lives east of there. But the California Science Museum, I think it's right across from the stadium that USC plays in. Expensive I don't know. I'm assuming that Lego will probably also have to pay some more costs because they are not created. Well, I don't know. I still think they're all manufactured over in Europe. I know we all have other hobbies. You're avoiding building the second level. Yep, that's what it is. All of that, all my other interests are to avoid building the second level. Yep. And the Endeavor is in LA. I've seen that one. As many times as I've been out to Dulles, the airport to the west of DC, I still have not gotten to see the aircraft or the shuttle that was there. I really need to do that sometime. Let's see. Yeah, California Science Museum, and they're actually building a mock-up of it in stacked configuration. So that's going to be quite impressive when they finish that. So it'll be attached to two boosters and the fuel tank standing upright in launch configuration. That's cool. That's cool. Discovery is at Dulles in Udvar Hazy Center. Okay. And what does Andy say? Would love to see the XB70 at Dayton. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Dan, have you been over to see that? It's right in your neighborhood. Well, right, not where you are right now, but actually, what's cool down where my mom lives is, if you recall, this little battle that took place in that area, the Monitor and the Merrimack, or as the southern states called it, the USS, the CSS, Confederate States of America, CSA, Virginia, how they renamed the Merrimack. Um, but there's a great display of that. They actually had recovered the Monitor from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean and brought it back in there in this in their and they're putting that back together slowly. And they also have mock-ups of the Virginia or the Merrimack. Um, there's got some models of it there and full-size stuff representations. Okay, yeah, Dan's been to the Air Force Museum several times, and of course, those who forget, Dayton is the home of the Wright brothers. And I just finished a great book. It's up on my bookshelf now by I forget, name escapes me, but he's written several biographies about people and about the war. Let's see if I look at it closely, look for it. David McCulloch. And then the other Andy says he's been to Dayton. Yep. I will have to get out there one of these years. Okay, let's go back up. Let's see what Andy said about the manifest of the train I sent to him. The manifest you sent me in my 100th video, John, it's getting near Indiana, Ohio. So you may see it arrive in the MH Montrose and Highlands Railroad in episode 101 or 102. I can't wait to see its arrival. That will be cool. And for those of you who don't know, Andy and I have been talking about, and I've been very slow. It's a railroad workers strike in my staging yard and all that. Uh, very slow at getting this manifest freight set up and sent over to Andy's railroad. It's a first of one. I'm actually going to do another one about what happened to the manifest that went between Andy's. It wasn't a manifest. It was it oil or was it, I forget, ethanol train that went from Andy's Montrose and Highland to Roy Smith's Evanston subdivision. Roy did a video about, maybe, what was it, 3 years ago? Okay. So, and here we go. That's cool. That's cool, Dan. So here we are. I went from I had nothing to say. I've chewed up another 15 minutes of everybody's time. awesome. Um, be on the watch out. We're going to have that 400 person one, but it's going to be a few weeks out. It looks like all of June we'll be collecting and allowing people to enter the drawing. And remember, they were announcing the drawing. We're not doing the drawing. So we are going to have that giveaway. Um, and you know what? Just like you do your layouts your own way, I do my drawings my own way. So um, this is just an anniversary of that time. That's why we're doing it. We're calling it the 400 giveaway. I imagine that in the next month, given how many people that I've been getting, that we'll get another 7 people here real soon now. And we're actually only 6 away now. So just this morning, we've got 3 more subs, so we're that much closer. I think that we'll be getting there. We'll be getting there. The control panel. Well, that's the next project that's on the list to work on now that I've got the yard reconfiguration going. And now that that's reconfiguration is complete, now I will start the wiring up of the control panel, which means the wiring up of those 15 or 16 different tracks on separate power. So that is going to be fun. More time under the layout is what it means. And it's going to be the wiring is going to be a little bit more interesting because before I had everything going to all these jumpers would come down to just one common place and all connect to the power, and now only half of those wires will go to the common place, and then the other wire will go to the mini bus for that particular um, track. Yep, tedious, and I want to try and make it so it doesn't turn into a complete, you know, just complete squirrel's nest of wires, like a lot of layouts get. You have so many wires going down there. You want to keep things somewhat organized. Why? Well, because someday you might be under there again, figuring out why something isn't working. So yeah. Um, well, I think we're close to wrapping this another episode up. This is episode 38 of Rocky Off the Rails. We'll go over and transition. Get everybody into this shot here. There's Rocky, the mascot, the bear, and me, JJ. So, let's see. Dwight is saying he's having all kinds of problems with the military train. He can't keep them connected. Yeah. The grizzly over your shoulder. Yeah. He's quite tame. This is a big bear. Yeah. It is a big bear. So let's switch back to the main view here, and we're getting ready. We're going to wrap this up. So again, I'm JJ. This is from Great Northern JJ, and this is Rocky Off the Rails, where we talk about silliness and nothing for an hour of your weekend. And thanks you all for joining and watching this show. And yeah, we'll figure out where your flag is, Pete. We'll figure out where your flag is. I'm sure we need to go and knock some sense into a couple of fellows to get you the flag. So I'm JJ. That's Rocky. And what do we say every time? I'll be back. Get to the chopper. Okay. Yeah. I should say at the beginning, stick around. Okay. Enough Schwarzenegger. I'm Arnold. No, that was my dad's name. Is my dad's name. Anyways, here we go. I think we're getting farther into the land of silliness. I'm going to say, hasta la vista, baby. I knew I had another one in me. Okay, that's all. See ya next week where we will run some trains because it is May 31st. It's the last show of the month. Okay, see y'all later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.